Hey, Jose, what's up, man?
Hey, John. Thanks for having me on.
You got it, brother. What's up?
So I was calling because the question I have is, how can I support my wife and help her find rest between being a full-time nurse and then raising kids?
Are you a full-time nurse or she's a full-time nurse?
She is. She is.
Oh, okay. What do you do, man?
I work for a fintech company. I work from home.
Okay. So What's the question beneath this question?
Well, I don't know. Like my wife, she works long hours and she's just really tired a lot. I feel like she's running on fumes most of the time, and I feel bad because I try to help, and sometimes sometimes I don't know how she wants to be helped or how to help her in general.
So have you said, "Hey, honey, I would love to help out around here, and I don't know how to help. Can you give me a roadmap for the help that you need?"
Not like that. No.
All right. What about your marriage makes that question scary? Because that seems like the most logical. That's actually like a fintech question. Like, what's the next test to run? Like,
yeah. No, I don't. I'm not sure. I mean, yeah. I guess I just haven't asked it like that. We've had conversations about like how I can help more, but I guess there's times where I feel. There's times where I offer, things on how to help, but then it's like not really received, or it's kind of
that's that was a nice way of saying I like to tell her how this should be done.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So here's where I think you can get beneath it and above it at the same time. Okay. And I don't know how that's logically possible, but I just made that up, so go with me, okay? Or it's not geographically possible. How old's your little baby?
We have two. So we have a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old.
Okay. So drop your shoulders from your ears and rest assured that with a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old and two full-time working parents, one working from home, one working in a helping profession, it's got its own secondary trauma attached to it. So exhale and know that you're not crazy, that your sex life is blown up. You feel like you've lost your best friend in the chaos of just diapers and exchanges and who's picking up what, and I got to get this kid to what, and this one needs to eat, and can you pick up this on the way home? Like, you're not crazy. And also realize that she probably misses you too.
Yeah.
And there's something powerful about a couple getting away from this madness, even if it's for 2 or 3 hours, and calling out. And you can let her listen to this call because it sounds like you love her and you're trying to figure out, how do I help, right?
Yeah.
And I want to applaud you. Before I start lecturing, I want to applaud you. What I did in your exact situation, we had one kid and several pregnancy losses, okay? What I did in your situation was I understood that I didn't know what was going on or how to. And so I figured the best way I could help my family was just to go make a bunch of money. And I figured the best gift I could give my wife and my new kid was to not be around. And I want to applaud you for being a man who's not doing that. You're trying to figure ways to plug back in. And it's like you're trying to find a plug behind the bed and you're just like trying to find where the outlet is. And you're just like jamming it up against the sheetrock and it won't go into the outlet. I applaud you for not just dropping it and saying, I'm just going to go without light for a while. Good for you.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think there's great power and grieving and joy and excitement and fear, all of those things together, by y'all two getting away and saying, okay, everything about our marriage is different now. We don't have the same marriage we did. Now we have 2 kids. Now we have to put sex on the calendar. Now we have to put exercise on the calendar. Now we have to be more intentional about budgeting money. Now we have to be more intentional about not taking the next promotion without talking about it with each other, or just taking overtime without talking about it with each other, because every move we have affects 3 people, not just one.
Yep.
And here's the beautiful thing. Y'all get to pick what coming next looks like. And I think it's in this context where you sit down and you say, I knew how to love you. We dated for a while. We were married for a while. I knew how to love you. And I want you to help me with the new roadmap to helping you feel loved. How can I best love you and these 2 kids in this wild new season? And by the way, as soon as you slowly get the handle of this, it's going to change. Then one of your kids is going to start elementary school, and then the other kid's going to just start smearing cha-cha on the walls just because why not, right? It's going to continue to change and continue to change and continue to change. And that, to me, has become my favorite part of my marriage, is the back to the drawing board. All right, we get to build the next one. All right, we get to build a new one. And it's exhausting sometimes, and I don't love it all the time because I like consistency, but man, I've just come to love, all right, we've never been married with a high school kid.
Yeah.
What does that look like? What do you want it to look like? What do you want it to feel like? And then reverse engineering it, which is your specialty, and making it happen. That's amazing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you have to be vulnerable and say, I don't know how. I prided myself.
That's true. I don't know how.
Well, and that can be scary for her. And also, man, what a gift to have a husband that says, I want to be all in, and I don't know how to do this next phase. Will you give me a roadmap back to your heart?
Yeah.
And by the way, here's mine. I miss my wife.
Yeah, it's good.
Is that fair?
No, I think it is for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's been, we seem always so busy, and we don't really get a ton of time together to have those type of conversations. And
so,
everything happens so fast.
Yes.
Like we weren't expecting our first daughter. It wasn't planned or anything. So, part of you misses having, that time with your significant other that you didn't really have.
Jose.
And so I think it's been a struggle to get used to.
All of me misses that.
Yeah. No, it's yeah. So it's hard to get, it's a process to get, all in on the new season.
Yes. But that's why I say you got to spend some time in grief. I want y'all both to hold hands and look across the table and be like, remember we just had sex all over the place? Whatever. Remember we didn't have any money, but we felt like we had $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
Remember we could just watch The Office until we fell asleep? Remember that? And now we have to I totally, it's okay to miss those days with all your guts. It's okay. You don't have to hedge it. It doesn't mean you don't love your kids and you don't love the new world y'all are going to create together.
Uh-huh.
In fact, I would say the more you pretend, it's but now we've got these kids. We love them. Oh, we love them. It's not honest.
Right.
And so almost like that'd be cool. I don't know if y'all have done this, and I don't mean this in a negative way. You do it with a smile on your face. Not like a funeral, but like a celebration of life when somebody's passed away and they had this, they were just fun and they were old and they had a great life and they're like, I want to have a dance. I want to have a celebration of life. I almost think you guys should have a celebration of before kids. Let's just put a marker in it. That was awesome.
Yeah.
And now we get to create a different kind of awesome.
Yeah.
And nobody in Hollywood tells you that the best sex you're going to have is sex on a calendar. Right?
Yeah.
And nobody tells you that the most intimate 9 o'clock time together starts with a 6:30 a.m. emptying the dishwasher.
Yeah.
Nobody tells you that. Nobody tells you that a peel the wallpapers off Friday night starts with a previous Sunday night. Hey, you want to go through the budget and the calendar for this week? Nobody tells you that.
Right.
Nobody tells you how caught off guard erotic it is to watch your husband throw the diapers away and take the trash out. You know what I mean? Nobody tells you that stuff. And so it's a matter of sitting down and saying, what does intimacy look like to us now? We get to decide. I want to commit to a date night. We don't have any money, cool. I'm going to commit to a walk. Right? We don't have enough money for babysitters, cool. I want to my son used to do this. He used to get hired when he was 10, and all he did was play with the 4-year-old or the 3 or whatever how old the kid was in the house with the parents there, with a mom or a dad there. But it was just enough to take the attention away.
Yep.
Right? Let's figure it out. Because I love you and you love me, and let's build something rad and new.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
It is, for sure.
Dude, I'm proud of you, brother. And if nothing else, I think a question I used to always ask, I still do, ask every boss of mine, is how do you want me to give you bad news or hard to hear news? Ask every one of my supervisors that. How do you want me to tell you that? And the most thoughtful supervisors I've ever had have gone, well, and they, like top of their head, say, shoot me a text and let me know that we need to talk. I'd rather you do it in person. I don't like to be surprised. I don't like to do this. Always come to me with a solution when you're coming to me with a problem. Like whatever their thing is, I work for them, and so I want to bring that to it. I think it's important here to say, hey, and this is new, because this isn't like Jose. I was nervous to ask you how I can help. I didn't know how to ask you how I could love you best in this season with 2 kids. It's chaos and you're working full time and all that. How do you want me to ask in the future when I'm unsure? Because I want to make sure I honor you with even how I ask, much less what I ask. And man, you guys are off to the races. If you have a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old, your life should feel like it exploded, because it did. The only question is, what world are you two going to build starting tomorrow? Because y'all get to choose. You get to choose what happens next.